All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Saturday, July 7th, and just want to welcome you to training today. My name is Quila Buhler. For those of you, I think that we have some new distributors on the phone. My husband and I, if you go into the world of the Relive titles, we are Presidential Silver Ambassadors, and what that means is in a calendar month, our checks have been over $8,000 just in one form of income. And Silver Ambassador means that we've helped two individuals get to the ambassador level, which means their checks are over $4,000 a month. We've been with Relive now almost 28 years, and it's been the best investment, best way to keep our health that we've ever could have imagined. And so today we're going to talk a lot of things. We're going to talk about the promotion, announcements, and share some things that have happened during the week. We're going to talk about fundamentals, and then we're going to talk about some objections. And that's me in the picture with two of my grandchildren. Andy's on the left, she'll be 6. Macy's on the right, she'll be 4. I'm actually going to North Carolina Tuesday to babysit for a week and with them. And then up in the other corner is my grandson, Jimmy, and I will be watching him for 2.5 weeks because his mom, Jessica, my daughter's having a C-section with a little girl, Joelle, but we're going to call her JoJo. So we have a busy life with our grandkids, and we could have never imagined to be able to live the life that we do, debt-free, not having to worry, and Relive has provided that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Let me get down here. Here we go. All right, so promotions. I think the very first thing, what I want to make sure everyone sees is that the one bonus that you have, if you go into your portal and you go to promotions, you'll see that these are what's going on. So right now, from July and through August, any distributor who earns all 3 promotions, so the Quick Start promotion, the Master Affiliate bonus, and then a $100 product credit for 3 preferred customers will earn a 2-night stay in Orlando. That's a big deal. So that's 2 nights at your hotel, basically free. So who wouldn't want that? And it's just going to work. The Winter Wednesdays, now through the end of July, anyone who registers for Orlando will be eligible for a drawing to win 2 free hotel nights. So every Wednesday. So if you're registered, for those who registered from the previous week, the winners will be announced each Wednesday on Facebook Live. And then there's giveaway prizes. And then remember that preferred customers who sign up for auto ship, monthly or quarterly, are going to get a 20% discount on the product. And then we've got the product credit. The other thing that I wanted to show you was the Girlfriends giveaway. And this looks pretty fun. This is going to be, let's see, it's basically for women. You know, these are your speakers, Karen Pennick. You've got Dodie McHugh, the entrepreneur, Joyce Ferguson, Dawn Tucci. Just so many people. I think Michaela's going to be there, Leslie and Aaron that are both in Relive marketing. Amy's in marketing. You've got Kimberly Burns. You've got Josh and Marcia Flegel. So it's going to be a really, really good event. They've got a reception. They want everybody to wear blue Saturday. They're going to have a workout. They've got the morning session. They've got a lunch. Lunch is $20 a person for lunch, but then they've got the afternoon session ends at 4. So that is at the last week in August, and it's going to be a great thing. So I want to make sure everybody's aware of those promotions. Let me get back to my thing here. Okay, so anybody want to share what's happened in your business? I'm going to start with something that I think is really interesting. So I've been on the Relive now with the soy for 25 years. And before I started, I was on the Now with Whey for the first 3 years. And the last 25 years, perfect health, everything. And then when the Now with the Whey came out, I just stopped cold turkey. Everything. I've been taking Kids Now, all that. Well, the last month, for me, I've kind of been a wreck. I've been forgetful. I've been wondering what's been going on. And I went to the doctor, and what she made me realize is that, and not to get technical because everyone is different. I'm still taking Now with Whey, but that's one shake a day. My other shakes are the Now with the soy and bringing on the kids now because, and this is what kind of put me over the top last night, I get my eyebrows waxed, and, women do that when they get older, their chin and their lips and all that. Well, my hair had grown like a chia pet. And the same lady that's been doing me for 6 years, she goes, what's happened? My hormones were way out of whack, and my doctor told me at the beginning of the week, she goes, you need those phytoestrogens. She goes, you need to get back on your stuff. And this is from a doctor who knows that I've been on Relive. She's been my doctor for the last 21 years. She knows that I don't do any meds. She knows I'm healthy and all that. And she looked at me, she goes, why on earth would you ever change anything that's been working for you? She was really upset. So I'm just letting you know that all of our products are terrific, but when some people say that maybe Classic works better for them than Now, I believe them, because for me, the Now with soy works better for me than the Now with Whey. I still take the Now with Whey once a day because I like it, and I do like some of the benefits I get, but I just thought that was interesting, and I all thought you would find humor in that because I feel like I'm out of kids now, and Jim placed this huge order yesterday, and it was like, Brenda, I need a kids chocolate now. Get my brain back. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that. Who else wants to share? Anybody?
This is April. I can share.
Hi, April. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Interesting that you mentioned that about whey. I switched entirely over to the whey just for a trial, and I found that I just felt that, I don't know if my body's sensitive to whey, but I just felt like I'd do so much better on the soy, so I went back to the soy. But it's nice to know that we have an option for people who are either allergic to soy or have just the mindset against soy or whatever. So it's nice because you said everybody's body deals differently. One thing that I found, I don't take the kids now that often, but we did have some left, and just trying to get our house ready to market stuff, I was really stressed out, and I just thought, I need something. Trying to be careful about what I eat, but I don't want to indulge in cookies or something. I thought I'm going to have a big glass of the chocolate kids now, and I had it, and I just felt like it just like mellowed me right out. It just was that spot to say, it doesn't have things in it, I don't know, that necessarily that are supposed to be calming to you, but to me it was just a really calming, whether it's because it's just kind of that kind of down-home comfort of something chocolatey, or whether it's the ingredients or both, but that was really interesting for me to see. And then as far as business goes, I have a couple who started on a product, and I've mentioned about them before. They're kind of on again, off again. They had some great results, but then they would be very, very inconsistent, and I would think that I'd lost them, and then they would call me up out of the blue and say, I need some more of your stuff. And they would have a can that would last like 6 months, but interestingly enough, they knew enough about it that they knew it was helping. So when the husband and the family just recently got diagnosed with multiple myeloma, and he's going through some radiation treatment, he said, do you have anything that will help rebuild bones? Because he's concerned about the radiation on his vertebrae, which is where the myeloma is. And so I said, well, let me look. So I've had him on a couple of different calls, and it's been really great. Just last night I went over there. They bought all the Now and the capsules that I had on hand, and he goes, I want to know how to order it online because they've always just had me bring it over to them. And he said, they're just really deciding that they want to be serious about it. And then the wife is saying, I might start taking it more regularly, and their elderly mother lives with them, and so she's like, and I think I might start on it too. So it's just interesting. You have to be patient with people. People will come and go, but sometimes when you think, that they're just kind of dinking around, or you've lost them, they know there's something good here, and it's just encouraging when you see them come back and say, okay, I'm ready now.
You know what? I loved what you just shared, and it's such a good way. I think that we are in a hurry for us to get, people to start the business, and that's not going to be that way for everybody. There are some people, they're on their own schedules, their own timeline, and if we push them, you would have lost them. So I think it's exciting, and I also want to follow up one other thing on product. And I'll just share with this really quick, and then we'll do a couple more business things. Whatever an individual chooses to relive they're going to feel better than they did before, because our products are like they're like the Bentley, the Maserati of what's out there. So whichever product they choose, they're going to feel great. It's just, I think that so many of us, we've been on our products. Sorry, the landscapers are here, so I'm having to close the windows. We've been on our products and we feel great, and I think that all of us are so much in tune to how we feel that we know when something, when something's positive or negative. So anyway, I love that. I also want to share, we've got a gal that I'll be talking to next week in Montana that's been coming along, and Jim's actually been talking over the phone with her, and she's ready to get started in the business, and that's been like a 4 or 5 month period. So I just, it's exciting, and I love what you share. So let's just do a couple more stories, and then we're going to move forward.
Quila, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Lou M. So, listening to what April was saying, and that I have a friend from high school, and we've been friends forever. But, she started on the products. We did a presentation with her, and she went in at that quick start, and she had really bad hips, and she quit walking with a limp, and she knew it was really helping her, and she was really excited. She was consistent with it, and then life kind of got in the way. A person that was intoxicated on marijuana happened to hit her husband on a scooter in their neighborhood, and he was in a coma. They didn't know if he would live. He's had a lot of brain injuries, and she's been dealing with that now for the last 2 years. So she let her distributorship, lapse because of just life. And I think sometimes this really happens. And so I still, I always stay in contact with her. And I happened to be doing a power hour with Christina the other day. And I decided to call her because she's wanted to lose weight. And I didn't know if I'd get her. Thought I'd probably go in her voicemail. But she happened to answer. And she said, "Oh, Luann, I need to get back on this. I need to get going again." And, and so yesterday my phone rang and she said, "I'm in your area." She said, "Do you have some now and some Luna Rich X?" She said, "I know that the Luna Rich X really was helping my husband." And she said she had run out, and Dr. Galvez did tell me that those capsules cross the blood-brain barrier. And, something within the brain, he's having a hard time doing shakes and that where he used to. But so all she could get in him were the capsules. And so anyway, she came and got capsules, and her daughter has Epstein-Barr, and they've removed half of her lung because of pneumonia and different things. And so she went over to the daughter's house, and she gave her some now that she had. And then she came here and got now also. And we went to lunch, and he went in with us, and it was interesting because, his head just dropped to the table. And everybody in the place where we were, was quite concerned about him. But, she opened up those capsules and gave him 2 capsules, and within a short time he was more alert, and his head was sitting back up because he gets so fatigued, and he can only go so long, and this is still a long road of recovery here. But it's like you said, it's amazing what these products do. But she said, "Okay, I need to do this again." And so I think life does get in the way sometimes, and we're thinking, okay, maybe they don't want the product, maybe they're not going to continue. But I really think it's what's going on a lot of times that we have no idea what they're dealing with, unless we keep in contact with people.
Actually, and you just shared a really good point that I'm going to talk about later on in our follow-up part. So that's amazing. That's amazing, Luann. Thank you. I had recognition on here. I didn't know if anyone's moved up to any new advances, if anyone's done gotten any of the promotions so far. We're just a few days into the month. We did recognize some volumes on Monday night in our group, different things like that. But we have a lot to cover, and looking at time, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. All right. So I want to talk 5 fundamentals. Oh, and go ahead and mute your lines. I'm hearing a little bit of background noise. Sounds like there was some background maybe from a cell phone. All right. So I think that sometimes when we get on training and we go to different things, there's so many things that we learn. Again, being in Los Alamos for 3 decades, I continue to learn, and it's I learn from each of you. And, I don't have to be on this training, but I am, because Relive is a part of my soul. It's part of something that we'll do for the rest of our life. And no matter what we do, we've always pivoted towards Relive because it's a business for us. It's something that we love, and no matter what, we do try to do this. And yes, when we're on a vacation or something, of course we, do things or we'll miss a training, but for the most part, this is what we do. So there are 5 basic fundamentals to building your business. And I think that sometimes we get in Relive, we think that we can do, maybe 1 or 2 and not 4 and 5. We want to skip everything, but yet we expect to have these results of success without doing the fundamentals. It's kind of like when you go into, I'm not really I do. I like Fresh Choice, or I like those kind of a salad bar, but, you get to choose what you want, but it's not like that in Relive. I mean, I think some people will do social media and they think, I'm going to do these, and they have these big volumes, but they're just going through people, and they're not doing what it takes to build a business that will pay us for the rest of our life. I think, why is that sometimes people pop in and pop out? Because if they're not willing to do the work, and I'm going to tell you, we do work, but it's the funnest thing that you'll ever do. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So what's the first one? I want to make a list. You can talk to people while you're doing that. It doesn't mean that you go home and make this list for a month and not talk to anybody. Sometimes when you start talking to people, let's say if I talk to a person today, some people aren't going to be able to meet with me this afternoon or tomorrow. They're going to push me out a week, and then sometimes things come up and they push me out another week. It happens that way. So you want to actively think of, I always think of 10 people that you want to talk to right away, but then meanwhile, you want to be making this other long list. I just got a thing for a class reunion, and I need to touch base with this person, and naturally they're going to say, what do you do? So what am I going to tell them? I'm going to tell them about Relive. Tell them what I do. I think that we need, again, talk to 5 new people today, and we need to create interest on how these people can make their list. So you want to jog their memory. I have a book that I had a long, long time ago, and this was a couple decades ago, from Mark Yarnell. He was a guy that was in New Skin that I liked. He's just a person that I liked. And there's a book out called Your First Year in Network Marketing. When I read these books, do I agree with everything that they say? No. I have a brain, and I can pick and choose, which I think is really good. And he has a couple things in here, and he talks about memory joggers to help make your list. I mean, he talks about warm lists. He talks about your hot list, your cold list. And I think that that's really, really important. And this one on the warm list, he talks about who do you know, who you respect, people that, and this is what I'm thinking. We talk a lot about a hot and we know what cold are, but we never really talk about the warm. So he talks about people that are active in church, people who do counseling, like church leaders, doctors, lawyers, professionals in clubs, active in civic affairs, teaching a school or business, deals with the public, like police officers, firefighters, mail carriers. I'm going to tell you what, our mail carrier is about ready to get fired because she continues to put all of our mail in the wrong boxes, and everyone on our streets is irritated. So that would definitely be a person I want to talk to. Leaders who have people who have kids starting junior high, high school, college. I miss not being involved in that realm. That was a really good warm market for me when our kids were involved in sports. And I know this week I'll be taking to Andy and Macy to gymnastics, and believe me, I'll be talking a lot. Children with talents that should be developed. Let's see, people that want to change jobs. I know a person that's being forced to resign, and I'm going to be talking to her about the business. She's on the product, and about, her eyes went like twice the size when I told her, what our checks were and what we did with Relive. So, we can talk about relatives who sold us our house, our cars, tires, TV, fishing license, suit, ties, shoes, business cards, wedding rings, eyelashes, contacts. I'm getting new contacts right now, so it's the person that I might want to talk to. She's very, very nice. You guys, everyone on the planet needs to hear about Relive, and they will. They are going to. The question you need to ask yourself is it you? So how long does it take to think of 5 people and ask, who do you want to talk to first, and then connect me to? Me, meaning your upline. Who, if you were talking to someone, you ask them, who are the first 5 people you want to talk to and connect me with, okay? I do believe in Relive, we teach people to wait rather than to act. And this book that I just shared with you, Your First Year in Network Marketing, what he talks about how a new distributor shouldn't do anything, for the first month. Well, I disagree with that, because I remember when we first started our business, and you'll hear this from a lot of people, our business started slowing down when we started really trying to understand everything. In the beginning, we just knew that we had a product that I got great results on, and I knew that we could build a business. We didn't even know all the fine forms of income. I remember, and I've shared this before, when my husband went to our sponsor, which was a doctor, and said, we're going to go master affiliate, and he said, I don't think you can do that. And Jim's like, well, yeah, we can. It says right here we can go master affiliate and get the highest savings level. And Grant's like, no, I don't think you can. And I remember Jim said, well, I'm doing it. I'm placing a master affiliate order tomorrow. And I remember we pushed up 6 people. And all those people, because they didn't have to do anything themselves, there's just a few of them that are still involved with Relive. So you guys, teach people to get going. Be an upline willing to take calls any time of the day. When we were actively out there building our business, we had people that were in Hawaii. We had people back east. That's 3 hours behind and 3 hours ahead. It was not convenient for me to talk to people at 10 o'clock at night for the people in Hawaii, and it wasn't convenient for me to talk to people at 6 in the morning, which was the Eastern time zone. So if you want to build your business, build it. Okay, there's always these excuses of why we can't do anything. You're going to take the weight out of doing the business off your new distributor's shoulders by helping them. Okay, you want to help. All right, 2, want to set the appointment. So, setting the appointment, it can be an in-home webinar, building your business one-on-one. That's a really great way for them to learn. You want to focus on others, and the more you do, your business is going to move forward. When you stop really thinking about you and start focusing on how you can make your distributors better, quit thinking about maybe what you're not able to do. Those first 2 to 3 years that we built Relive, we were highly focused. Everything pivoted towards Relive. People are not willing to do that today. They're not willing to do that because they want to enjoy every moment of their life. I enjoyed every moment of my life. We were building our business, but there were things that I set on the table. I love to quilt. But you know what? Because of Relive, I now have a sewing machine that costs the price of a car. I can quilt all the time, and I've got a quilting room. I was willing to give it up for a few years to get what I wanted. And I just think that sometimes we're not willing to do that. So we want to set the appointment. And when you do that appointment, you want to use your upline. If you're new, you're going to learn and start doing it yourself. I remember we did an appointment, and I'm sorry about the background. Sometimes our landscapers come on Friday nights, and I thought, of course they're going to choose today because I'm doing training to come on Saturday morning. But I remember we did a lunch and learn where we had a whole bunch of women that came over for a lunch, and I started going through the presentation, and the person there, she just kind of took over. She did it completely wrong. She called Bob Carl and Carl Dr. Galvez. I mean, she did everything wrong. But you know what? The people that we were with, they didn't know. They thought she did a great job. And I thought she did too. I didn't sit there and point out, oh, that's not him. I didn't say one word. I just said, that's fantastic. And you know what? It was wonderful. So you're going to make mistakes going out, and if you're an upline, you don't point those mistakes out during a presentation, because what it does is it makes you look like the Ram Poobah, and the person that you're doing can't do anything. Let them just go through and have fun. You're there to help. You're there to support, but you don't want to make a person become dependent on you. I've seen people be very, very successful in Relive, and yet what happens is they start turning around instead of moving forward, and they think that their distributors should be totally dependent on them. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I don't want every distributor in my business calling me. I'd have a heart attack. I don't want that. I want to teach my group to teach their leaders, and so on. I hope that makes sense. So call your upline, sideline when you first get started, and then eventually you're going to not need help. But in the beginning you will, because you're going to be asked questions, and we're going to talk about some of those at the end. All right. So, you've thought about the people we're going to talk to, made your list, we've set the appointment, we're doing the appointment now, we're going to help them make a decision. And I think that's a really difficult part for a majority of people that are on the call, because you get nervous. You think, oh, what am I going to do? I don't want them to think I'm selling anything. You know what? If your heart's at the right place, you should have no problem doing this. If you're honestly concerned about helping this other individual and you've been listening to what they've been telling you, then you should have no problem. If they're doing that appointment to, what's the word I'm looking for, as a pity thing for you, thinking that they're doing you a favor, you're going to have a problem doing that. But if you're honestly listened and they're telling you if you've been hearing what they've been saying, I'm going to tell you, Americans are sick, and so are Canadians, and so are Europeans, and everyone in the world. If you're over 40 and you're not on Relive, you've got a health issue. It's just how it works. And here's the thing: there are so many people out there that when you start talking to them, oh no, I'm good. But then when you ask them, are you on any medications? Oh yeah, I take it for allergies. I've got it for arthritis. I've got it for this and that. So that's the part where we need to listen. And when you can identify a need when you're doing a presentation, whether it's health or business, then you're going to be okay. So help them make a decision. If they're saying, well, gee, I don't know, do I start the classic? Do I start the now with the soy? Do I start the now with the whey? And I'm just going to tell them they're all great. I personally take the now with the soy, but yet I've got people that take classic and other things. Why don't we just get you started here? But I always also like to ask them, if taste is an issue, if they're going to be, really tasty, then we might taste both. I'm going to probably have my cans where we can taste both, because it doesn't matter how good of a product it is. If they don't like it, they're not going to take it. So some people have gag reflexes, so just got to work it through. Get them started when? Now. Don't say, oh, gee, so glad we did this appointment, but you're going to have to wait 2 weeks to get your product. I hate that. Right now I'm trying to order some Usborne books for my grandson. And this gal that I'm trying to work with, she's not probably one of my favorite individuals just because of personality, but I thought, I know that she could use the income. So I have an order I want to place for my grandson on all these little plain books, and he's 19 months and he's talking already with words, and I'm trying to get all these books. And I've been waiting 2 days to hear back from her to know if she can get these to me by the end of the month. I haven't heard from her. My next email will be, if I don't hear back from you by Sunday night, then we're good. I know you're busy, and I'm just going to move on. Because, you guys, I want my books. I want someone to talk to me now because I'm interested right now. She will lose me, and she's going to. So I'm sharing what I'm sharing here now. I'm sharing that with you from real. This is real. So when someone says, oh, let's get started now, and then you say, well, okay, well, I don't have the product, but I'll bring it over. When you go on that appointment, make sure you've got products with you, ready to get them going and ready to get started. You want to get them registered with Relive. You'll have a lot of people that will say, oh, well, yeah, we can do that next week. Don't slam your appointments so close together that you have to run out the door when they want to do something, because all the levels of commitment to Relive start with the signature, how it works. That is how it works. If they're going to build a business, no one has a head start over anybody else, but that level of commitment starts with the signature and getting signed up with Relive. All right. I looked back at some numbers. I was looking through my notes. I don't know what it is now, but our retention rate in 2011 with Relive was 68%, and the industry average at that time was 19%. And I thought that was interesting. So I want to find out what that retention rate is now, like in 2017. I know it's higher than that. We've got incredible products. What that means is that 6.8 out of every 10 people that I put on Relive in 2011, they stayed. And that had a lot to do because we were following up. We were doing the right things with people. So what are the two questions that people ask when, we're on an appointment? Do the products work, and can I make money? And it's very, very important that we are able to show them and give them examples, do follow-up, connect them to people. Follow up to move up. That's really how it works. And again, I kind of shared this at the beginning. We have lots of people that have huge volumes, personal group volumes. That's great. But if you go out there and retail every single month, that's a lot harder than building a business. I do absolutely maybe 5% now compared to what I did when we first started 28 years ago, probably not even that. And yet we make a larger income. So when you want to build a business that will pay you for the rest of your life, and that's what those forms of income provide. So we follow up to move people to better health and to purchase the product. Follow-up is different for everyone. Some people, they don't want to get a phone call. So what do? Some people like texting. I love texting. I love the Relive site, how you can just send people videos or information. Our phone is our tool. We thought the iPads were and laptops, but it continues to evolve to getting smaller and smaller. But the phone is a great thing. Some people do want those phone calls. I find that when I can talk to someone, I don't call and tell somebody, well, I'm going to be following up and we're going to talk on the phone and I'm going to expose you to, these people. If somebody did that to me, I would have said, no way, I don't have time. And we kind of shared it at the beginning. We don't know what's going on in people's lives. So I always just like to ask people, what's the best way to connect with you? Text, great. And now I've got some, recorded calls that I know you'd like to listen to. There's some live people that, with everything that you're going on, you probably benefit a lot from hearing how these products have helped them both from a business side and financial side. And if they're open to that, then I'm going to say great. And, I like to think, what's the best time for you? Is it Wednesdays at noon or is it, Thursdays at 7? And I find out what that is and I write it down. You guys, this takes some organization. You need to get a planner. You need to figure out how you can, plan your business. That's what it is. Don't do this by the shirt tails and thinking that you're going to remember everything. Some people are going to like to be followed up with every couple days. You have other people once a week, and then eventually you get into once a month. And then I follow up with people, via email a lot. I have people on an email list in my group that I send them out what's going on with Relive. It's just those things that you want to do to move your business forward. So follow-up answers to questions. Do all people start as a master affiliate? No, we did. Some people will come in as a quick start. This is a great place to start. By the end of the month, if you want to move up to master affiliate, that's great too. Okay, you guys, answer questions with people the right way. We do have people that will say, well, I remember a long, long time ago, people wouldn't even think about working with anyone unless they were a master affiliate. And I remember I told them, send those people to me, because we have people that have been involved with Relive after years, and then they decide to go master. And again, we need to take our, we have our goals set, we have our agenda set for the things that we want to do with Relive, but the denominating factor here is people, and not everyone is going to fall into the category of the slot of doing exactly what we want, we'd like people to do. And when we start pushing people into doing something they're not ready to do, then that gets you into trouble. So help people. Whatever people believe in and whatever they value, they're going to invest their money in that. Jim, my husband, we never went into debt for anything. And when Relive came along, we had so many doctor bills and all these things, but Jim knew that being at the master affiliate level was the best place to be. He saw the benefits that I got on these products, and he knew that this was the business that we could build a business from, right? He saw the value, and that's what we have to help people understand in Relive is the value. We're going to go to Costco later today. When you go into this section, you see all these people standing there just looking bewildered on what to get. And we have that answer for people many times. I'll go through Costco, and when I've got time, and I know I do, I'll go in there, and I'm just going to say, man, I'm so glad I don't have to do that. And I will make it loud enough that they can hear me. And if they didn't, I'll go down the aisle again and say it again to make sure they hear me. And people go, what? I'll go, you know what? We used to do that, but we're on a product now that I absolutely love, and it has practically everything that's in this store in one product. It costs a lot less. You get great results, and I love it. And people are going to go, what is it? And then I will give them my card. Now, I have cards that purposely, I do not have my website on them because I don't want them to mistakenly go to the Big Relive website and go ask people. I just got my name and my email and my phone number, and it works. So those are things. Don't make follow-up hard. Make it simple and make it easy, all right? It's very important. What are the challenges of follow-up? People that are not going to let you follow up. They're not going to stick to the product. We have people that when we do follow up, and I will share with them a couple things. So if I have somebody that's in another state, which we do a lot of out-of-state business, and we get the product, and I'll say, the minute you get your product, please call me. I just want to touch base. This is very simple, but I want to go through on how you should take this to get the best results. And they go, okay. So, I'll call them up, and we'll have them get started, and I'll say, now, when you open up that can, did you find the red scoop? And if someone says, oh, yeah, it's right here, I'll say, okay, Mary, I know you didn't open that product because there's no red scoop in that can. It's a clear scoop, and they'll laugh, and they'll go, ha, ha, ha. So I go, seriously, go open up your can of product, and let's get you started. You'll have other people that, you're following up with. They're saying they're getting great results. And, maybe they bought a couple months supply, and, you're in that second month or something, and they're just telling you they've gotten great results. They're taking the product 2 to 3 times a day. And according to my calculations, I'm thinking you should be out. And I'll go, you're about ready to reorder. Looking at this, you're telling me that you love the product and things are going well, and it's probably time. Oh, no, I've got, a half a can left in my first can, and I'm thinking to myself, you've been telling me you've been taking it 2 to 3 times a day. In the beginning, I used to go, oh, and I think to myself, how can that be? You guys, it can't be. Now I just say, do you have a magic can or something? Does it just recreate product all by itself? Because you should be out. I'll just say, you told me you're taking it. Are you, I said, are you, playing around here with me? Because that just can't be. And they'll laugh. And I go, well, I've kind of been taking it here and there. When I do take it, I do feel great. And I'll say, look, I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste mine either. Let's go ahead and why don't you just commit to taking this at least for the first week, 2 to 3 times a day, and let's talk a couple times. And once they get on that and do that, I don't get mad and say, you lied to me. I don't do that. I just kind of try to have fun with it. The magic can thing always seems to make people laugh. So you want to create interest in the beginning of what you're doing. I will do anything for anyone that wants to get started and are serious and committed. If someone feels that they're doing me a favor, I'm sometimes really reluctant to do that. But here's the thing. I was that way. And I'm kind of glad my upline, I'm just telling you, this doesn't normally happen, and Jim and I are probably the 1% of the 5% of the 100 people, of the 100%, but my upline, he just said, this is what I needed to do. He was a doctor, so I almost took it like it was a prescription, but he never followed up with me. He never did anything. He just told me to take it, and I did it. That's not how most people are today, because today, so many people, I know I do, we go to the internet, we do research, we look, okay? You can't get a feeling from the internet. Relive gives you that feeling of well-being. Relive, those our products allow you to handle that stress. It doesn't take it away, but it kind of rolls off your shoulders. You can't get that from reading that on the internet. So we need to be connected with people. But if I have people that are telling me, I don't know, maybe I'll try this. And I'll just say, you know what? You can try it, but you're better to be committed. And I'll just say, I'm not sure if you're going to get your results in 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 months, but you need to be on this for at least 90 days. And so the best place to do that is probably a quick start. And the neat thing is that we have a 100% guarantee on any unused product up for a year. So there's really no risk here, and this is probably a good place for you to go. Help your new distributors, your organization. Your distributors are your asset. Take care of them, okay? They're not there making money for you. They are their own business. They are very much independent of you, especially a master affiliate. But you want to help them and guide them. I think that we tend to forget that sometimes. All right, teach them what to do, invest in your people. Never forget that you are a real distributor, and model that sense of urgency. And we personally want to sponsor, and we want to ask ourselves who are the first 5 people that we want to talk to. And I think that can continually change. That should be a list that we all constantly need going. If you want to be moving your business and moving it forward, you want to have that. I think this is where we're going to go into this. Yeah. So here's the thing. I've had a lot of people ask me about objections and how I would handle this. If you have an objection that you have, I want you to *6 your phone. You can ask me the question. I don't want anything negative on a negative. No stinking thinking on, on this. I always have this. If this happens to me, I don't want that. I want you to ask me an honest question on an objection that maybe you've had and you were uncomfortable in answering it, if that makes sense. So if anyone's experienced that, you can *6 your phone, and then I will do my best to answer that objection to help you. So we've got a few minutes left, and I thought it would be kind of fun to do that. By the way, if any of you have texted me anything, I'm not going to get that until after I get done, because I've got my headset plugged in, and I'm on the phone, and for some reason I do not get texts. So if you have any questions, or if you've had an objection, put it in the chat box so I can see it. And don't feel like you have a stupid question. There's no question that's stupid here. No one? No one has any objection that they've handled or been asked and they knew immediately how to answer it?
This is April.
Hi, April.
So I've had someone who is, she's made it very clear she's not interested in the business. She decided to get some of the product, but because she's on a retirement income, is only taking at most 1 scoop a day, sometimes every couple of days. And she says, I'm not seeing anything, but I said, well, then you may need to take more, because even if you take 1 scoop a day, that's going to maintain your health. It's not going to, you're not necessarily going to see an increase, but she doesn't want to take the increased amount because of finances and not being confident that it's going to do anything. So it's kind of like a catch-22.
Okay. So you did really good in letting me explain that, a lot of people take 1 scoop of Relive a day, and some people actually feel improvement with their health. And I would just commend her for the great thing is, you're maintaining your health, and this is good, and, you're probably going to feel better, just taking this without not taking Relive. But I think sometimes, we get into the thing where with helping, and if I had someone that came to me and said that they're not interested in the business, but yet at the same time they're tight on money, that never makes sense to me, on how they're complaining that they don't have enough money, but they're also telling me they want to take the product, but they can't afford to because of lack of money. So, what you could suggest to her is, one of the things that I could show you how to do is, even though you don't want to do the business, I could show you how to get your product for free. And you could show them that, if she's a distributor, she could get her product. If she signed up some customers, she can get her product for free, and that could allow her to, the preferred customers that order every month, on the sign up, that she could get that product for free. The other thing is I would just tell her, I'm not sure what you're expecting, and I tend to laugh a lot and kind of joke a little bit, because seriously, I'm laughing inside when people tell me this, and I'll just say, okay, and I'll just say, all right, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly, because you're telling me we want to, we're looking for health benefits here, but yet you're telling me we can't take more products simply because of the finances, but yet you're telling me you don't have the money to pay that. So what would you like to do? And sometimes you can put it back in their shoulder and they go, I know. And then that's when I would say, let me show you how we can get your product for free. That might be something, April, where somehow free product people doesn't register as building a business. And you might want to consider that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I think something came up here in the chat. Hold on, let me find my cursor. Someone said she didn't see a difference.
Quila, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Louise, and
Hi, Louise.
Hi. You're so gracious with the way that you respond, and sometimes I wish you were right there in my pocket, because I just recently, and it just kind of threw me off. I had, you mean, I just have to take this every day? I can't even tell you what went through my head. And I was just really quiet. And what I said was, well, you eat 3 times a day, don't you? But I think the tone of my voice, anyway, they're on the product. It's just, how do you graciously handle that? I need some help there.
Okay. So, and again, you said that would probably be my response. Do I have to take this every day? And this is what I've learned, you guys. Whenever you react to anything, you're going to get in trouble. Because you're reacting off of emotion rather the emotion is, are you serious? That is an absolutely absurd question. Okay, that is the tone. You said the right thing, but the tone came out expressing how you felt.
Exactly.
So, if someone said, do I have to take this every day? My response, again, I'm going to pause and I'm going to say, well, are you serious? You eat every day, don't you? Okay, so that would be my first joke. But then I would honestly say, you don't have to do anything. When we went over this, the whole idea is you're getting on this because you want to feel better, or you want improvements here, or you want this or that. And again, and I'm just saying, you can't get something for nothing. You need to do what it takes. And I would just say, there have been so many people, and I could say this whether I've been in the business for a month, whether I've been in it for a year, 10 years, or almost 30, and I can tell them that we can connect you to people that have taken the product, 2 to 3 times a day for 3 months, a year, whatever it is, and they were able to receive benefits with what you're looking for. That might help you understand why you should do this. And that's probably what I would do. I'm going to take them and connect them with someone who's been taking the product every day that got benefits and what they're looking for. Because that's validity, and that puts a value into why they should do it.
And you also said reminding them what they wanted, which is what you did with April,
right.
too. So not react. Okay, got it. Because I'm telling you, what went through my head is, are you insane? That's what went through my head.
You look hot. You took that one picture, and you are just Miss Slim Trim. You are a perfect example of what Fit 3 is all about.
Well,
I mean, you continue to get younger. You do not get older. You look great.
Oh, and I am very, very comfortable in my skin right now. I really am. But it has to do with the attitude of my attitude and this great nutrition. So there you go. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's see. I'm looking in. Someone said June synthetics was going through extra stuff. Comparing apples, but do you think, are you sure comparing apples? Did you consider much more on your plate at that time, or is that rude? She wasn't. So if I'm hearing this, Julie, she was just taking the Lean Rich X capsules. I don't know what she was on it for, but she said she didn't know any results. I think that sometimes, I think what you said in here, she said she had a lot of things going on in her life. I think it goes back to, don't be afraid to ask people when they're telling you that they're not getting results. Then go back and ask them, you had shared with me the purpose of getting on the product was this. Julie, you could say, since then, you've had a lot on your plate. You don't just wake up one day with these issues. We don't, have a lot, unless you're getting a blood test every week, you really can't tell what's going on. And I would just say, I think that's where you might want to put her on the products. Like for me with the capsules, honestly, I didn't really even know the capsules were doing anything for me until a year later, and then I realized, I can get my rings off and on my fingers without, being 58, but this was in my mid-50s at that time, on and off without having, and before then my doctor told me that arthritis was just normal for everybody. A lot of people think that feeling sick is normal or getting older, and I'm going to tell you what I experienced this last week with making that switch. There's a lot of it. I think I'm kind of happy I went through that experience because it's making me realize how many people are walking around desperate and they need what we have. So I don't think that you can ever be rude. Why are we feeling that we're rude when we want to just talk to someone and be honest? Be honest with people. I think that's how that works. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Any things that they've been going through? Business-wise, every now and then you're going to get people that will, say, is this network marketing? And my response is, absolutely. Do you have any experience? And they'll go, well, we did Amway one day, or we did this or did that. And I'll say, well, who didn't? It's a great resource to get started, but you just didn't have the right company. I'll tell you, there are a boatload of millennials that are out doing a lot of different businesses because that age group wants to, they want to live their life on their terms and do the things in their life. It's not like a lot of the baby boomers. But here's the thing, and I want to share this. I will tell you that there are so many people that, the economy got good. I mean, unemployment's low. There's lots of jobs out there. But there are people out there that want to dream and don't think that people over, 50, over 60, over 70, that they put their dreams on a shelf. They have not. That over 50 group, that baby boomer group, we have incredible amount of buying power. And when I went in to get my braces and when I heard from my orthodontist that over 50% are over 55 to 70, that's because we are living longer and we are taking better care of ourselves, and we want to live an incredible life. And so don't put yourself into a funnel. You want to talk to everyone. So, over 18 or over 16 or whatever the age group might be in your state, to the elderly, because people might want to build businesses for their kids. You just never know what you're going to do. But my thing is talk to everybody. So those are we've talked about a lot of things in Relive. Those are just 5 things that I think we really need to focus on. Just remember that there's never been or will be anything that anyone can say to you that should make you think about or have to go, Just don't react. That's the first thing when you have an objection. And the next thing is really come from your heart. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to be slick, Willie, and think that, I'm going to be able to breeze my way through this. It used to be the worst thing, the worst compliment that I could ever get when I did a presentation is people would go, wow, you're so good. You're so smooth. We loved your presentation. I took that almost as an insult because I felt at that time it was becoming too candid, or I don't know if that's the right word, too regimented, and my personality wasn't coming through. Be you. Because when you go out and you do all of this, just be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Have your own voice. Is it going to work every time? Nope. Are people going to tell you no? Of course they are. Does that mean you're failing? No. It just means that you're that closer to the next person that's going to say yes. So remember that when you go out this week. Hope everybody has a great month. One thing I didn't even talk about was conference. Remember conference? Remember to get registered. We talked about that a little bit. Everyone that gets registered this week, you'll have your name in that hat to get the 2 free night stays. Leaders go to conference, and that's just one thing you want to remember. So have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.